impact of the war, Nigeria's economy is already feeling the ripple effects of surging global oil prices after Brent crude climbed to $100 per barrel, above that. While the rally could boost government revenues, strengthen foreign exchange reserves, and widen fiscal buffers, it is still also pushing domestic fuel prices higher. Petrol prices have risen sharply across filling stations, increasing transport and production costs. For households and businesses still adjusting to economic reforms, the oil surge presents a paradox: stronger national earnings from crude exports, but higher costs for the people. Joining us virtually is foreign policy analyst Bolu Michael-Biyi. Thank you for joining us, Bolu.
Thank you.
Just a quick one. How is Manzini treating you?
He's fine. Good. Very good.
Okay, so this news about the G7 meeting and then the possible release of reserves, rumored at about 300 million barrels. Do you think it will make any impact?
Now I think the markets they're reacting to fear. It's not just the supply shortage. It's not like the physical oil has stopped flowing. It's just the traders basically, speculating prices in anticipation of a possible blockage of the, crucial Strait of Hormuz that allows for the passage of these products. As you said earlier, that the last coordinated reserve release was in 2022 after after Russia invaded Ukraine. That measure alone it temporarily cooled the prices, but it was only for a few weeks before we saw the markets rebounding. So that proves that fear-driven markets that does not respond permanently to supply fixes. And the G7 they can control the reserves, they can control everything, but they can't control the conflict timelines. We are still seeing the missiles flying about across the Gulf region. But as long as those missiles are being exchanged and continue to fly over the Gulf region, every barrel released is fighting a psychological market, not a logistical one. Because these reserves they can't you know improve a choke point. They can't control the Strait of Hormuz. So the real lever is the Strait of Hormuz. That is the bone. That's the area of contention. So
But
if we
okay,
see
so if I may come in here, so we're now seeing the G7s having their conversation, but Iran appears to be moving on with its life. It's appointed a new spiritual leader, even though President Trump says he can't last long without his approval. Do you think that would make any difference?
I don't think it's going to make much difference because leadership transition during active conflicts almost always happens. It doesn't soften the regime because Muitaba is now in a position whereby he has to prove his legitimacy, and he's not going to do that by being timid. And the structure of Iran's politics, it requires a leader to show strength, not compromise, and we might actually be seeing a leader that is more brutal than Ali Khamenei if we are to go by his current posture. The IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, they've already pledged allegiance to Muitaba. It's expected whoever may have emerged, even not Muitaba, they will still have done the same thing. But we should not see it as a ceremonial gesture.
Okay,
Uh,
so
I,
now there is that other bit about the UAE not wanting to partake in any attack on Iran. Do you think this appointment is part of the reasons why the UAE is saying, look, we don't want to have any, even though they've lost some civilians in some of their areas with the drone strikes and all of that? Are we witnessing a total collapse of regional neutrality in this conflict?
It's possible. It's possible because UAE will not just jump into a war just like that, even though its territorial integrity is being violated for two reasons. Number one is that Iran has tendered an apology. I think they want to go by that. It's a good thing that Iran is just not acting as though these countries they don't have rules and laws and there's no international law in place or a government in place that is looking after their citizens. They're not just putting that aside. The second thing is that the UAE is an economy that is built on oil and tourism. So if they kind of act in a certain way, it may actually ruin the UAE's reputation of being a stable and safe area for for tourists. And it is such a diverse environment, and the Iran government, they know what they're doing because it's so diverse. There's a chance that if they hit civilian targets, they'll be hitting an American or a British or a German somewhere. It's kind of trying to bring NATO into the war. In my opinion, I don't understand the reason why they'll make such provocation. So we're not seeing kind of regional neutrality. What I want to see is for the GCC to have a collective defense clause, in its, to that formally invoke certain processes in case any Gulf state gets pulled in one way or the other. And I think that's what we're currently seeing, and that's the domino everyone is watching.
All right, thank you so much. We've been speaking with Bolu Michael-Biyi, a foreign policy analyst. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.